It's our ending.
Our ending, huh?
Champ, dude.
Fucking PogChamp.
I think it's hard,
Have you
dude.
gone so far?
Nask is a very interesting guy.
Finding no shields.
Why can't we just
they're
live
going for
on
People already
and just
flying.
congest?
Are they flying?
I mean,
No, I don't-
consume
Someone just fly.
energy
Navi's going
supplements
there.
forever and not have it be hazardous to our health.
They might fight. Like one
Yeah.
team just
That'd be the
fly.
dream.
We can wait a little then. If
One
they,
guy still-
they might have taken house. I think they took house.
All right.
No, we can take house.
Fuck. One guy.
There. Careful. Right. We gotta take
The
house.
patience, I love it.
Can we take house?
Patience from Zhao.
Can we go breeze in?
I'm playing way too much Dota. Holy fuck. I'm
Go
playing
bridge.
way
Go
too
bridge.
much
Go
Dota,
bridge.
man.
Go bridge.
They're zipping top, guys.
They're going on top.
Get
Hikari,
behind
thank you
this
for the
rock.
follow.
LOS.
Yep.
Get
I forgot
bridge.
to turn off my
Yep.
turn off my alert box for this.
I think we play here. We play here. It can end a tower as well. It's not fully our
I
circle.
only have a white.
I just destroy.
I figured you'd like that, right?
I want to play here. I want to play here.
Yeah.
Interesting spot for him to
It's
take.
not gonna work in Europe.
Very
Bro,
interesting.
I think it will. I think it will. I think
What
it will.
about house? Is it like
House is taken. House is taken.
Wait, Nask with the actual crazy zone prediction
fresh
because it
white.
does
I'm
end like
moving.
right next to them. I think they obviously
I
wanted
want
the
to
house.
play here. I want to play here. I think it could work.
This is an interesting call.
If it pulls tower, then we're fucking vibing.
You have to
dude.
have like all.
Can we maybe loot something here? Like this shit.
Okay, I thought he wanted to play like down here, like underneath in the bridge. Maybe he does. We'll see. I don't remember where they play exactly.
Also,
Fighting.
Navi fighting and Ti fighting the same team.
I need shield cells. Thank you.
I have 5.
drop it outside. I drop it outside over here.
I do like playing this little area. Like, it's a
anyone
very
see
weird
us
spot.
play?
Like, playing this area is super weird, right? Because you have all these spots that people can like peek over you. You're forcing yourself into some kind of like low ground, but at the same time, like nobody would push a fight here because anytime if you're pushing from the tracks, you get shot at by everybody else that's like down here. Like, it's a really hard spot to actually push. And then playing this choke, anytime you have a team playing a choke, it literally eliminates eventually, if played properly, and if you don't get screwed by too many teams at the same time, it allows you to literally choke off an entire part of a rotation on the map that will force other players to rotate around other areas, and which will congest those other areas, leaving your back clear, and probably a lot of those teams dying because they're forcing themselves into a spot where many other teams are. So if you can play a choke, playing like a choke like this early on is really hard because you're very susceptible to getting pinched. So like right now, obviously you have this team that's cognizant of them, that's at the house. It's still a little thick. Still a little thick. But yeah, this team that's cognizant of them in the house. Obviously you just have these guys right here that are like right here. Probably playing with the care package, waiting for the drop. So they could easily get a big power weapon and maybe push on this if they wanted to, if there was a fight forced. But then the big problem, so like right now that's fine. But the big problem is if any team plays like this little cliff, or happens to take the tower, or just plays anything over here, all of a sudden, you guessed it, chat, all of a sudden, they're the meat of the sandwich. A nice, big, beefy patty of the sandwich. And you don't want to be that. You want to get the fuck out of there. So this is why playing a choke early is tough. If you are one of the teams on the outside, especially like a team from Skyhook, the play would be to basically poke at them forever and try to get other teams to kind of do the same thing. So you're inserting yourself right smack dab in the middle of the sandwich playing something like this, but it's risky, but it can have a really, really high reward if you hold it off correctly.
It died yet.
Take my armor.
You need to give him Emerson.
Yeah, so their positioning here is really important and what they choose to watch. They're basically, when you watch a lot of like ground like this, I'm surprised he's not putting any fences here. I mean, he didn't have them, so that could be partly why, so he's doing it now. Good shit, Nask. But basically, for the same reason, like fence doesn't realistically do anything except for show people like, hey, we're here.
Building. Team
Which is
building
again
has
one of those
sentinel or
strengths that
longbow.
Watson has.
Yeah, they're watching us.
I'm gonna gen.
Oh, fuck, he came icing me. Can hold from here.
That's a good spot.
Bells, give me armor. I'm fencing.
Good call there. I'm always a big fan of teams that, again, You'd be surprised how many teams don't micromanage their armors like that.
Or like deeper here.
Hell, I tell my team too. Anytime you do anything that is aggressive away from like your team, always give that person the big armor. And this translates to like everything else as well. You don't have to be just a competitor, right? If your Wraith is sitting with the purple armor, but if you want to like get some aggressive fences out as Watson, or if you want to do if you're a Pathfinder and you want to hit a beacon, like swap armors. If whoever's doing the action that's most likely to get you killed, give them the strong armor. I like that. A lot of like again, it's surprising how many teams don't armor swap like that. There's a lot of small like min-maxy things that a lot of teams don't do.
Fencing.
When you have
No,
I have.
yeah, two of them thirsted.
Blue armor.
Mask, I think it's worth to make a portal somewhere in loot. At least.
Yeah, I think so,
Give me
for
the
sure.
blue
Yeah.
Look at that. He said, make a portal.
Pick up light.
So he gives the Wraith the big armor. That's just, again, it blows my mind how many teams I don't see do that. Now, normally your Wraith has the big armor.
There's two
Or
alive
people
from the
like by default put it on the Wraith. So that's like usually not as big of a thing. But it's not often like the Watson will be like, hey, give me the armor so I can go do this. Or the Pat says the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, this whole building was actually
Let's
empty.
speed it up.
Really?
Yeah, not even like
it
the...
So basically they know they're gonna stay here for a very long time, so they're using their portal to loot. I like this. My team also does this sometimes. Even though a place has been like looted, you know, keep in mind that like think about like what when you're looting a place, either in scrims or ranked or pubs even, like you probably don't loot everything perfectly, or you don't grab everything that you can, because you can't carry everything. So if you're just chilling, this goes back to the last game where I was talking about how like once you secure an area, just like loot everything around. Same thing. They know they're going to be here for a while. Use that portal, maybe get some extra cells out of it, some extra ammo, light ammo. They don't really have much. Like you're looking at Nask has a stock R9 here, basically has a purple stock on it, but nothing else. So they're using their portal to just try to get any extra loot they can. If you already have full bags, if you're in this spot, do exactly what Nask did last game. Drop a lot of your shit that you like, you know, nades, a lot of your meds. Don't do anything too horny, and then just loot anything. Any extra nades you get is actually so helpful. Because imagine like everyone has like 2 nades on them, and that's all they can carry. If you can bring back like 3 or 4 extra nades to just have on the ground, like that's huge. Nades are really high value, but unfortunately most of the time if you don't have a big backpack, you can't carry that many because you need meds. So that's very big.
I got a molly at 2x. You don't need those?
No light, nothing.
Hey, you got a molly,
A little
2x.
bit of light I can grab.
I would have gotten horny as soon as he said that.
I have only 90 light ammo, and this one
Yeah,
I got.
I can give
But
you
I'm
some.
also a slut for the
Bad Alliance is
2x.
dead because Alliance always goes for big games last game.
Yeah.
Watch, I make this VOD review now, then
61.
every single pro team gonna start min-maxing loot like this.
Another 17.
Sorry, not gonna
bring
give
it to
away
me?
one of our
Can we-
advantages.
I will drop you like 40.
Oh, even syringes too. Finding extra
That's good,
like
fine.
Fucking die!
that kind of scared me.
Big
Portal?
fight, big fight.
Portal?
I don't have it.
Matafa
right.
kills them, Matafa
coming.
kills them. Matafa kill 2 of GP2. Matafa wants this fight. We cannot portal it. They looting here.
Unlucky.
Damn it.
Keep holding it. Like keep showing presence. Just shoot sometimes.
If this is NA, this team, if this was NA and there was a team holding the choke, they would have pushed that on
One guy
100%.
from GP2 still alive. Let's understand, right?
Yeah, I think so.
He took 2 banners. Wait, don't move.
I'm
don't
coming
shoot.
to you. I'm coming to you.
He doesn't see me at all.
I'm not coming.
Yes,
Tell me
yes,
when I
yes.
should come.
You're going here. You're going here. I saw.
Now? I'm coming.
Asking don't shade for the best team right now? There's a lot of really good teams. You can't call one team the best though.
He's going for respawn.
Until
I'm pretty sure that Matafa will push it.
because most of the regions aren't
He's
playing
going now.
against
He's
each
looking.
other.
He's looking. He's resting now.
They're definitely one of the best
You wanna just
in
try and shoot
EU.
this guy?
Yeah,
Hands
go.
down.
Sip.
I don't have.
It's tough between them and Gambit
That is it.
because both teams are super
I can hold it if you push.
consistent.
Going elevated.
It's all you.
I'm up elevated. I find it. Has on his socks. On third floor. Down.
Only race left.
Low spot. Low
Pep.
spot.
Nice.
Here, come back to our old position.
Good fucking call, Sophie.
Thank you.
Good fucking call, man. Well done.
There's a lot.
Well done,
That is a
Sophie.
big
It's still
call.
playable over here.
That's 2 kill
Yeah.
points.
Like a placement.
Remember, they're only 4 points above Outsiders. I haven't seen Outsiders in the kill feed at all. Maybe I missed it. I'm sure one of them would have said something. So them getting 2 kill points right there eliminates 1 squad. First off, so they get well, they don't get extra placement for it yet, but you know, obviously it's 1 squad less. But getting 2 kills right there, that puts them at 6 points above Outsiders. That forces Outsiders to have to make an even bigger play if they want first. Again, a lot of it comes down to, does Outsiders want first, or is Outsiders content with second? Personally, if I'm Outsiders, because I think Third Impact was 12 points behind them. If I'm Outsiders, I'm hard chilling. I'm cool with second, right? Because it's a 12-point difference between them and third.
Yeah, for sure. Where's the loot?
So don't expect to see Outsiders doing much here. Just trying to play safe.
We have blue here.
That's why Naski's like super happy about those 2 kill points, because that puts them 6 points ahead of Outsiders instead of only 4.
Right?
You seen?
Yeah. No, because it will end here. It will end here.
Yeah,
Trust me.
you have so many good teams, man.
Alright.
So many good teams.
I just like want to do a super safe play, you know?
Yeah.
To take a few more.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but OS is still alive. I don't want to play too safe.
Yeah, see, they're still
Go
worried
first
about
and
it.
second.
Oh, it's alive, you say?
Yeah.
Alliance out. Gambit. Pause down.
Gambit.
Gambit.
Better go down.
Gambit out.
Gambit,
Nice.
not straight. Like,
Just because a team drops the tournament or 2
Just let
doesn't
them
mean they're
know.
like
Yeah.
losing
We're
it. They're just trying to
don't
figure
take
things
damage for it.
out.
Just let them know. Yeah. Just miss your shots if you need. Like just.
I like that. So
On the roof. On the roof.
Naska is making the call to just shoot at them. Just again, like people undervalue how much presence matters. It's probably back to an old meme that I used to have with my friends when I played Dota. I used to talk about how presence is everything in a lot of these like competitive games, and it is, especially in Apex as well. Like, if this team might potentially be looking to take this spot, like if I'm this team over here, I'm constantly looking at a spot that might be a little bit better than what I'm at, and I'm asking and I'm constantly like monitoring, because sometimes with Watson fences, if you just put them up right, the team knows you're there. But teams, even if you're not actually in that spot, a team might still think you're there. So this team, you know, if they're not showing themselves at all, this team might be like, oh, I think this team's not here anymore, and they might roll up and try to take the spot because it's a little bit better than that. This is a very like deep pocket spot, so this spot's a little bit better than the edge over here. So Nasky made the call there to like just shoot at them just so they know that they're there. Really smart. Presence is everything.
9.
People
it did 74.
very much undervalue presence, and right there too. Like if they didn't have Watson, I forget who asked me about Caustic versus Watson a little bit ago. If they didn't have Watson in this game, that's likely that they actually, after they went to third to kill off SJP2 in Skyhook, it's very likely that a team could have rolled up and just taken this spot, but they probably saw the Watson fences and were like, oh fuck, we can't take it. So it's a lot of like, everyone looks at Watson's pylon and they're like, oh, she's
I think
really
our
strong
spot
because
here
of
is
the
better
pylon,
than
which
the spot
obviously
that over
she
here.
is.
Strafey.
But this is why she's so good on World's Edge and still so
Like,
mandatory.
not without armor, so
As long as she has
so
her
in
fences, she has an insane amount of value
I know
that's
what
not
you mean,
that you
Strafey,
can't like
but I think it is.
write
We're in
down
here.
on
We
paper.
play there.
Yeah.
and it's not something you
I
can
have one
nerf either.
ultic only.
It's just one of the inherent things
have
about
any.
her. Unless
What
you
if
straight
we-
up took out her fences.
Check train. They're playing outside under. I don't know why. Because they have like all...
Yeah.
Like soon as they will go inside.
They're golden here though. I mean, the elevation, they still have like pretty decent elevation. They have a lot of cover to work with in the next circle. They can play that little choke off to their left right here. Like they're still hard chilling.
The rest was so fucking good, Strafey.
Yeah, it was.
Thank you.
We got 3. I got 1 kill. And you?
I have one.
So yeah, so they know they're 6 points above.
Team still alive somehow.
That's really good.
Outsiders haven't shown it at all in the kill feed.
1,000,000 times.
They're playing super
These guys
passive.
just fucking.
Fred.
I'm using a bad. No. Sentinel. No, Sentinel. He shot me. Look at my HP.
Down.
Yeah, they got a nice little place
Nice.
here. And again, this is like this is the deep pocket. This spot like isn't the strongest spot to hold on paper, but I mean, because they held this choke beautifully, no one's obviously there. They know there was like one team back here and they're probably still going to play it. That's the team they probably need to focus on the most. But this team will also be probably hard focused by the team that's in like the tractor right here. So this team could potentially get sandwiched. Nasky's team is in the deep pocket right now, and if you know me, I like my DPP. You know, they're basically like hard chilling. Everybody else is on the lower end of this circle, so they're just hard chilling. They have to do nothing but survive. They're like, a lot of times there's a lot of teams that like to play for the center of the circle, but the best part to play is literally just in the deep pocket and make sure there's no one near. Yeah, that's right. God, class, you guys are such good listeners. You're a lot better than I was when I was in school, that's for sure. But yeah, sometimes it's just better to take the hard end of the circle where you know no one's going to be around you. You don't always have to play for like the center zone.
Can we put it for under house maybe?
That depends on the circle and like, you know, it varies on like what you have to play as cover.
Yeah, but I think it's the
There's
same
a lot of
team.
factors in it. But a lot goes into a call like this.
Because they can't play under.
Yeah,
they-
see, we got some. I told you.
That's so fucking
We're even in here.
We have to...
We're in behind this.
Yeah,
Outsiders
we're
are picking up some kills though on the kill feed there now.
OS getting kills. I think that's their first kill.
That's a lucky ass circle pull, I can't lie.
Missing.
Bro, this guy with the Sentinel.
Two bats left.
Is this Nocturnal in there with the Sentinel, dude?
You have nades?
I have
Yeah,
two
I'm
R-stars
jumping in
and
time.
one molly.
I have one of each grenade.
I have frag and thermite.
This guy, man, holy.
I have 6 cells. I'm
have
2,
6.
6,
Give me
1,
one.
8.
Give me one cell.
I'm 4-4, 0T.
You have 4-4?
Yeah,
I have 2 beds, but it's good.
I'll drop one. I have a Phoenix as well. I'm gonna put the Phoenix here in case someone gets hard cracked. Just pick it up
Alright.
and take it.
I'm putting a cell here.
Yep.
I'm putting it further away just in case.
Look at that. I love the
Okay,
little
so you
min-maxing
should-
this team does. This team actually, like, for the longest time, I always thought, like, this team was just a super aggressive team, like, they just hard pushed. But they actually are really, they play really, really smart.
I'm holding
There's
here.
a
I'm
lot of
holding
little
here.
things they do that make my
Watching as well.
analyzing
No, no,
heart
no.
happy.
Fighting for the roof. Maybe we can get a kill at It's OS fighting for the roof. It's OS in the building, I think.
OS got knocked. OS got knocked. OS got knocked.
Quiet. We stand here.
I think they're fighting for the building though. Or
If we have opportunity to kill OS and die, we do it.
I was just about to say that. It's totally like a play, and this is why I kind of like BRs in a sense. I mean, I think this is why most competitors hate it. But I think it's interesting that like every game is different depending on how all the other games play out. Every game has a different story to it, which is why I liked going into seeing the overall results going into game 5 here. That's a totally viable call. If they can dive OS and make sure OS dies, they literally win the tournament. You know, and it's not something that like works in most other games because that just that opportunity doesn't exist. But you know, you have to play the scoreboard. It's more about playing the scoreboard than playing one game at a time. That's a really smart call. Every pro would make that call. It's not saying like they're like that smart. I think every pro would make that call. You saw it a lot in Poland actually. For those of you that watched the Poland Invitational, if you remember, for those that don't, the Poland Invitational had a match point threshold mechanic where I forget the exact number. It might have been a 50, maybe 40. But basically, if you wanted to win the tournament in Poland, the $500,000 Invitational, you had to get above a certain amount of points, which I believe was 50, and that's set a little high. I hope they adjust that. But it was set so you couldn't win the tournament until you had 50 points. Once you crossed that threshold of 50 points, you had to win the game to win the tournament. So it creates this like really interesting metagame within the tournament where I believe Navi got to that really fast. Navi slayed the finals in the Poland Invitational. They had the most points of everybody, but they didn't win the tournament because they never won a game after they hit the threshold. And that's bringing it back to the point here. Like there were a lot of times, like I feel like it's almost detrimental to be the first team across the threshold because every team is going to throw their game. They're going to throw that match just to make sure if you're a team above the threshold that you don't win. So it creates this interesting thing, like metagame where you don't want to show yourselves, you don't want people to know where you are because every team will send on you. I remember there was one 3-round, there was 3 squads left. One was FlyQuest, one was MVP, I don't remember the third. And MVP was the only team in that last circle of the 3 teams that was above the match point threshold. And literally FlyQuest and that other team, without even like communicating to each other, just basically worked together to kill MVP, and they both threw their games just to kill MVP. So the MVP didn't win the tournament. So as a competitor, I'm not gonna lie, it could be kind of terrible. Or just sounds terrible, but I think as a spectator, I think it creates this like really, really awesome environment. Like, let's be real, bro. I remember being like on the edge of my fucking seat, just in the spectator, like just sitting there watching them play live, because unfortunately my team didn't make the finals. We were right there, we were close. But I remember being so like, I was sitting right next to my boy Six. Like, it was so exciting to watch, man. It was so exciting to watch. There was that one point where Hal almost clutched it against 3 people. He was like a solo rat at like south of artillery. And he almost fucking clutched it. If he had clutched it, they would have won the tournament earlier, but they ended up winning anyways. And that would have been like the greatest moment in Apex history, hands down. Yeah, with the box, he was under the stairs behind the box, and I think the only reason he had an opportunity to go really aggressive on the guy that was up there, I forget who it was, but he thought he was up against 2 people, and it's the only reason he didn't. I remember I think I talked to him right like during the break. Like, that would have been like hands down the greatest moment in Apex history if he clutched it against the full fucking team and won the tournament. Like, I think it's such a good format. It needs a little bit of tweaking, but anyways, bit of a tangent, but yeah, that's absolutely a strategy, and it's employed a lot anytime you can secure your win by basically throwing your game to kill another team that's gonna sacrifice, or not sacrifice rather, but it's gonna hinder your chance to win. Absolutely make that call. That's a really good call by Ness. I think any pro team is smart enough to make that call though. What's up, Caleb?
Flash underneath the building.
Yeah, it basically puts a bounty on the team. Like, I feel like if you're one of the first 3 teams,
I have 3,
maybe the first 5 teams, it's so detrimental to cross that threshold. But I can't wait, because I'm pretty sure moving forward, when we have lands again, hopefully fucking someday when we have lands again, the match point threshold is staying, because that shit was awesome. I thought it was so fucking fun to watch, man.
Team gonna be fun left.
I have 2 cells only after I pick this one up.
If you are like newer to competitive Apex and you haven't watched the season or the Poland Invitational that was in September, highly recommend you go back and watch it, man. It was it was a really,
It's one team on left side, I'm pretty
really
sure.
good tournament.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure too.
Yes, I see some. They Jenny, they killing up.
Again, they're just hard chilling. They're on the slow end of the circle. Nice, you got a follower, so I can't fucking look at it.
I cracked all of them.
Yeah, flash. Do they have
So they're on the slow end of the circle here, so they actually don't really, even though the circle is like literally right behind them, they don't typically, when you're on the slow end of the circle, all these endgame circles play out very similarly from circle to circle. And it's basically, you want to be, the ideal scenario is you want to be the team that A, doesn't have to move at all, or has to move the least. Because all these teams, any teams that are out here, are the ones that have to make the big rotations. So all these people down here are going to be focused down here. You basically always, in the last circle, you want to be the last team to move, if you can. Because then you can try to fuck over everybody else that has to move.
Jen?
No, I cracked it.
I broke Jen. Not one.
Who is that?
Cracked another.
Unknown. No, all dead, all dead!
Huge nade. Holy shit.
Oh yeah, one more.
Let's go.
Cracked him. My grenade failed. Break another.
Can we finish him? Nice. OS is dead, we won!
Yeah, that's just, yeah, they won.
Yeah, I'm still alive, but still.
I'm making portal to that.
See, like, a format like this, like, they have to do this kind of format, right? For these online tournaments, they have to do it. I personally don't think it's very exciting. I really like the match point threshold system because it's just like, all right, they won. It's not as climactic, right? Like, yeah, it was still close, but like, it hits so much harder when the team that wins the tournament is the last team that wins the fucking game. It's so, whoever came up with that format is actually just so, it's so smart, man. It's so smart. I really, really like it. Again, from the competitive side, it's really tough. I mean, again, Poland went for like 12 fucking games. Poland went for like 12 games, I think. If you were Rogue, who played in the the losers bracket finals before that, I think Rogue played 16 games. 16 games that day. That's so hard to do, bro. At like playing at a very high level with so much stress on your shoulders, your fucking energy levels massive the entire day. 16 games. I can't imagine how exhausted Rogue was. It was the Poland preseason invitational. It was for $500,000. So he said that was a terrible experience. Yeah, no, I feel bad. I feel so bad for him. Like, on the bright side, they're warmed up, but their later half of the games are probably going to be so just devoid of energy. Like, I remember the last break before or even when the tournament ended, I remember all the players coming off, and I'm like, dude, everybody looked like death. Because the boxes were hot, too. The little booths that we played in, they were really hot. They weren't ventilated very well. Oh, dude, Dillsy, everybody was smashing energy supplements. Everybody was. Yeah, you have to, dude. It's like, it's not just, you don't just show up and play. You have to be playing your very fucking best. Which requires so much focus. It's not easy, dude. It's really not. Even playing like 8 games is a lot.
I need to fucking take.
Let alone 12 or possibly 16.
Like under, above, everywhere, you know.
Hell, if we had made it through the loser finals, we would have also played that many games.
We have to hold
3 videos, day 1 through 3. Is that it? Yeah. It was a 3-day
Slipping above
tournament.
us. He's flash. He's flash. He's flash. Pass to the 1. Dead.
And this is very simple, just playing those. They are the only team in the zone.
Above, up here, up here.
You follow me.
Very simple. I'm gonna volume this down for this destroys my ears.
I'm knocked.
Because Nasky does not have a compressor.
Sit fucking down. Sit fucking down.
Sit, dog, sit.
No, just sit down.
That's an interesting celebration.
Easiest tournament of my life,
dog.
dude. Easiest tournament of my life, dude. Easiest tournament.
You know what they say?
Yeah, you can post it. I don't care.
They say easy.
I don't think they do for Apex. Some tournaments they do, or some games.
Really, really good job.
It was not that hard, actually.
It was actually very, very easy.
Well played. I mean, Nasty, like, they're just play smart, man.
Easy.
A lot of it came from like they didn't do anything crazy. Games 2 through 5, Nasty team didn't do anything crazy. They had a very big monstrous first game, which allows them to play a little bit more lax and just go for coast for points. I mean, look at this. 6th place, 1 kill. A bit of a rough game on that one, but 6th place, 1 kill. That's not a very good game. 2nd and 5 kills is a lot, actually. 4 and 7, or 4th and 7 kills. Like, you don't have to, and most of these kills are obviously coming from the end game too, like, you know, last minute phrase. So you don't have to do anything crazy if you come out with a massive bonkers first game. And also, honorable mention to 3rd Impact. I mean, they might have been 3rd. They might have been down by like 20 some points, but they still achieved 3rd, dropping. Actually, I think, yeah, Nasky's team literally killed 3rd Impact in Kings Canyon in like the little tunnels, the vaults or whatever. They literally killed them immediately. And 3rd Impact, all you need is that one crazy game, right? They kept their mentals high. Even after, like, this game is not even that great either. This game is a little bit better, but, you know, after having, like, the first 2 bad games, you're probably like, fuck. So even 3rd Impact made a really good running after getting 20th in the very first game. So big ups to Nasky Strafey Deli. I don't know. Big ups to them, though, for a massive another tournament win. That's 2 for them, right? But they still place really, really high in every other tournament. Like, I don't really see them dropping the ball in tournaments all that much, so really big on them. Congrats. Again, they finally got their VOD review. I feel bad. I scuffed it a little bit. The first 3 games I was trashed. But, you know, they still got it. I think the last 2 games probably make up for it at least. I tried to go a little bit ham, a little bit more overboard on the info on the last 2 games to kind of make up for maybe the first 3 games. But yeah, big ups to them. Congrats, boys. You fucking did it. You deserve it. You're monsters. Orgs, sign this team, Orgs. Sign this team.